Welcome in, okay? Thank you so much for landing on Planet 7. I am your host, 7. I knew you would come back. I knew you would. I knew you were and I knew you would, okay? You have a beautiful journey ahead of you for this introduction episode, episode 2. I cannot wait to share a little bit of my backstory of who I am so that we can get to know each other a little bit more. So without further ado, keep watching. Love you. So we are going to get a little bit more experimental on this episode, which is actually where I wanted to go anyways. The last episode, I forgot to let you guys know, but I pulled a card, and the card was Thoth, which is the god of writing. And amongst other things, we'll have a history lesson later on, but it was literally Mercury mind. So the fact that we were talking about the development stage and just execution in the first episode, if you didn't watch it, there it is right there. We are going to pull another card, and we're going to have a whole nother discussion and introduction on yours truly, because I feel like you need to know who I am, right? I'm presenting you with all this information, all these different things. You need to know who your girl is and where she came from. So, I mean, why not? Let's get into it. So I'm going to pull a card. Oh, or maybe two. What's this episode? At the bottom of the deck, I got Aquarius, I know. I got Jupiter Abundance and 11th house friends. Ooh, I love that. And the good thing about this Jupiter Abundance card is that there's a 7 on it. I'm everywhere, okay? All you got to do is look around, baby. I'm right there. I'm right there, okay? And we have 11th house friends, which is ironic because at the bottom of the deck we have Aquarius, I know. And the 11th house is the house of Aquarius. So, I mean, look, the opportunities are there. One of these episodes, we should base one of the little cards off of a conversation. I'm kind of feeling like that's where we're going with this. So that lets me know that there's going to be some good collaborations coming. That's also letting me know that I'm going to meet new people based off of either this conversation or just in general. I'm getting abundance when it comes to friendships. And look, we're going to have another conversation later on about where I've been in order to manifest those type of friends. Okay? Okay. So, introduction. And I just feel that there's no better way to give you an introduction to who I am. 7 is my nickname, but my real name. I'm not going to give you the whole government. Nah, I don't think are we recording? Oh, okay. Girl, I was about to be mad, but this iPhone audio is not bad. It's not bad. We slanted the microphone a little bit from episode 1, and we're just trying to figure out things. So anyways, episode 2. I want to talk about for episode 2, slight introduction. The introduction starts, and I'm going to just kind of wrap it up to a specific degree. When it comes to where I come from, Cali born, any Californians in the house, how y'all feel about the taxes? Whole nother conversation, but whatever. Born in California, I am a Cancer. Shout out to the Cancers. I am a Cancer Leo cusp, so it can get a little crazy in here, but what do you know? Here we are creating to transmute that energy outward. My favorite. Cancer Sun, rising Sagittarius, moon in Taurus. For those astrology lovers out there, your girl is everywhere in a beautiful way. So, born in Cali, Long Beach raised, came Jehovah Witness raised. I mean, where do I even start? The timeline. So let's just start from the beginning. I grew up Jehovah's Witness, which ironically, it's interesting how I guess we have this life now, right? When I say I've done a complete 360, I actually mean that. Growing up Jehovah's Witness, a lot of the time, what you know is based off of not just a Bible, but it's based off of what humans have created and their knowledge of what humankind has been discovered into, if not brought into, and how we created ourselves. Well, not created ourselves, but how God basically created us. And I just feel that there's truths to everything, 100%. But when it came to this type of religion and my spirit, it just never connected. It never connected. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you to tell you that there wasn't some truth in it, but I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that how I felt when I was doing and practicing it was 100% happy. I was not. I wasn't. I was not. Bible. I just felt like a lot of who I was being submerged. And I just felt like the energy that I'm meant to convey feels like sin to the religion that I'm practicing. So what does that lead to? That leads to you having a double life. It leads to you not feeling like you can speak your truth, not being able to speak your truth, because what is your truth, right? You have no idea. You have no idea who you are. You have no idea what you're even practicing at a point, because if you ask why, you get looked at like you're being defiant. And I, as a person who seeks truth, life path 7, okay, seeker of knowledge, I'm going to ask questions. Do you not ask questions when you're getting to know, let's just give an example. Science, somebody tells you we should jump off of this bridge right now. Are you not going to ask why? And the fact that you get looked at like it's terrible to ask these questions is what's crazy to me. I just don't feel that I need to be going door to door consistently telling other people like you, because I'm pretty sure I knocked on your door. I'm pretty sure. It was just a little version of me, okay? I'm telling these people that this is the truth, when really, when I'm asking if this is and how to get closer to it, how am I going to tell you to practice it when I don't even feel in my soul that this is the truth for me? It made no sense. It made no sense. So once I got to the age of 19 is when everything started to unravel. Everything started to unravel. I was always confused. I went through like literally emotional despair. I was like depressed and suicidal, the least of what I can tell you, okay? I've been through the trenches of my mind because I was so disconnected from self. Which is why we're having this conversation on this specific segment entitled Awake. Because for so long, I have been etching, restructuring, rethinking, reprogramming, retraining, redoing everything in my power to finally know who I am and to connect myself back to my own personal truth. Hello, we're here. So grew up like that, in that energy, and I just was so far away from myself. And even just the publications that you would read and how no one would look like you. And I'm like, but the Garden of Eden looks like it's in Africa based off the beginning of the Bible. This is what you guys are putting in the Bible. I didn't put this here. So why is it that I don't see anyone that's like me, but nobody here is racist, but everyone in the publications are all one skin tone, which we know what skin tone that is. So I got to this point of feeling so far away from myself. The more I started coming into myself had to do with somebody being like, hey, have you seen tarot readings on YouTube? No, I haven't. That sounds a little demonic, but you know what? Thank you for asking, hey, have you read this book? Oh, have you done this? Oh, have you done? So you allowing yourself to you allowing yourself to be open to the factor of learning new traditions and setting new traditions and getting rid of those past generational pass downs. I'm tired of the hand-me-downs. And the hand-me-downs are not even good. You know what type of person I am? Naturally, luxury just speaks to me. So I'm not going to want a hand-me-down unless it's a good thrift, okay? A good thrift. This is not a good thrift for me. I think the truth is a good thrift, but what I need to find and what I need to discover, the most important thing that I feel the most disconnected from is myself. And I can't find that in this specific religion with so many, just like, it feels like you're suffocating. It's claustrophobia to where you just erase who you are completely and you just don't know your own language. So I made it my duty to start doing astrology, learning about my birth charts, the great capabilities of how you can get to know yourself. The first time you read your birth chart, you're probably like, I don't know who this is for. I'm looking at my computer, by the way. You're like looking at this like, I can't believe that they're having the audacity to tell me that these specific signs, because I knew when I found out I had a Sag rising and a moon in Taurus, I was like, out of all the signs, you want to give me these? But astrology always has spoke to me, and I think that's why the person presented it to me in the first place, because I would always ask people what their signs were. I would read Cancer and be like, honestly, this is not how I'm feeling today, without even realizing that I actually had more signs, more astrological signs that were a part of my astrological DNA that no one has ever told me about before. So of course, girl, if somebody tells me some new information I've never heard of before, I'm about to jump on it. I need to hear about it, because my goal and my destiny at this point is to figure out who the fuck I am. And it ain't gonna be nobody else that's gonna know who I am. How you gonna know who I am unless you're around me 24/7? And even then, because I don't know who I am, that's not even the version of me that you think you know. That's that is a prehistoric version. Okay, what's the what is it? Primordial. Okay, that's the beginning of time, the land before time. I'm a completely different person now. I'm a different person than yesterday, because I wasn't doing this yesterday. So I just started falling in love with myself. I really wanted to start speaking my truth. And I started doing that. And this is my story. It doesn't have to be your story. But if you really want to get to know yourself and something in you is just calling to a new, it's like you're just yearning for something new. It's not what your family has done. It's not what your friends have done. This is all you. You, the big cheese, you making the decisions. So at this point, it's a canvas. What do you want to do with it? I chose spirituality. I chose astrology. I chose tarot reading. When I say the moment, you know what I said before? My friend said, hey, have you watched, tarot readings on YouTube? First of all, I didn't even know they existed. I wasn't even allowed to watch Harry Potter. We didn't celebrate birthdays, honey. We didn't celebrate. So how would I even know that when you go on YouTube, there are tarot readers? I wouldn't know that, but thank you for telling me, even though we didn't work out as friends. I appreciate the tip. And I went, this woman didn't know anything about me and told me about my entire existence. And she don't know me. How do you explain that? So I said, I love this. My friends come to me all the time asking me for advice. My friends come to me all the time thinking I'm a therapist with no deposits, apparently. They come to me all the time. I mean, I'm a good friend. I'm going to do these things. But you know what I mean? Like, after a while, even when your social battery is down, people still come and knock on the door. So that is, to me, in my opinion, what brought me closer and what could bring you closer to your own personal truth. What could be better than the land before time astrology telling you about your specific placements? I mean, so I fell in love with it. And the more I started doing my chart, I realized that this is something that anyone can do. You mean to tell me I can look up this person and this person? And, all the fellas out there, I know for a minute, and even still now, once women found out what a birth chart was, it was end for you. It was the end for you. And however that applies, okay, we both know, regardless of what you identify as, if you know a person's birth chart, you're coming for their neck. It's like astrology psychology, The moment you find out about that is the moment and you find your gold, your inner universe that now you can convey, speak, execute, your personal magic. And you could even challenge what you read. That's what I love to do. They're like, oh, you're like this. Okay, but I like to challenge the truth of others all the time. And a lot of the time I like to do it with myself, because if I don't want to do it, I say yes to it anyways, because a part of me, my inner universe, is nervous and I'm shaking in my boots, clenching my pearls. Like, I'm scared, but I'm going to do it because I haven't done it before and I would like to experience it. So I just made it my duty to find myself. And I did that through astrology. I did that by saying yes to opportunities I was too afraid to do. I promise you, the first time I started doing tarot was a card deck. And you guys don't, I feel like we're going to get a little deep, but I don't want to get too deep because, time wise. But I used to play cards all the time when I was younger with my family, with my dad predominantly. So I was used to the shuffle. I was used to the cards. It was nothing to me. So the moment I saw that this is what women do, this is what readers do in general, I am immediately drawn to it because I love cards. They bring me therapy. When you do things when you're younger and you feel so, without even realizing that you feel connected to it. So when you pick it up later on in life, in your adult life, it's second nature to you. This is not new. The only thing that's new is the meaning behind the card, because I'm used to Ace of Spades. I'm used to, Jack, 21. This is what I'm used to. So now that there's a card that has a meaning, and it could be triple, quadruple meanings depending on what side it's on, and then depending on what card it's next to. Oh baby, I'm all over it. I'm a challenger. I love to be challenged. If I'm not challenged, honestly, because my mind works in such a complex way, I'm not enthusiastic about what we're about to do. In fact, I'm bored and I'm probably falling asleep in a corner. So anyways, I started doing it with a deck of cards, and I did it for myself and looked up each of the cards and realized that the deck of cards derive from tarot cards. I mean, everything is connected, baby, synchronicities. And so I started doing it for all my friends. And, people would pick their story and never pick the negative one, even though they are the negative story. They would be like, oh, no, I don't think that applies to me, but it does. But now, because you're trying to choose your destiny, I mean, I get it, you're trying to choose your destiny, but you're trying to choose the wrong reality, because we both know that that's not what's really going on, but you're going to choose it because you want to make it seem like you're in La La Land. I had to check them. I had to start writing on each of the tarot cards because I want the truth. And I want the truth in not a way of, is it this or is it this, but it's this. So once I started writing on the cards, I had my little deck of cards with me everywhere. I would just start doing it to all my friends, doing it to everybody. And then next thing you know, I went to a spiritual shop. The guy asked me, hey, what's your sign? I said, I'm a Cancer. And usually I don't like to tell people this because immediately they think of soft little baby. I can be a soft little baby, but there's also a really dark side to Cancers that I don't think people really know about. And quite frankly, we really want to know the truth. We're intuitive cardinal signs. It is not just about the softness of the crab, but it's also about the exterior, but also what's in the shell. Does anybody think about that? I'm here to let you know. I'm here to tell you that there's more than what meets the eye, the obvious. And so he would not sell me the deck of cards behind him. He said, these cards are the dark and the light, and you need to make sure. And I was like, okay, nigga. So I went on Amazon, okay, and I got the cards. You know what it is. I got the cards. And they say, oh, you're not supposed to buy your own cards. Someone's supposed to give it to you. Am I supposed to wait around forever? Honey, this is an opportunity that I'm feeling called to. Imagine if I would have waited. Imagine. I would have been waiting around all day for someone to hand me an opportunity. No, 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 no. I understand if we do that sometimes with specific things, but this is just not one of them. This is literally calling out to me and telling me that it's time. The energy in my eyes, I have energy in my eyes. I don't know if anyone here does too, but when I look at something and it's like this, it's like a psychedelic energy. I feel the chills all over my body, all the way down to my feet. I said I had to have the cards. I got the cards. I didn't tell anybody in my family. My sister was nosy as hell and went through my stuff, so I just had to let her know what it was. And even she looks at readings now because it helps, bitch. It's free therapy. And if you go to a reader, obviously, and pay for their services, which I will always say yes to do so, unless they look a little crazy. Trust the energy that you're feeling. Do not go if you don't like the energy. Anyways, yeah, so I started doing it, and the doors, when I mean the doors, I felt like it was Alice. You know, when she finally opens up the door after the drink me, a whole wonderland opened. I was not only able to help myself, okay, through terrible times, through times of building businesses, through times of helping other people build businesses. I've done yoga events of 100+ people. I've helped marriages. I've done birthday parties. Girl, the list goes on. And that was only, look at me, that was only me doing it 2 years into me doing it, if not 1 or 2. The moment I realized what gift I had, I knew that I had to just grab it by the horns, bull by the horns. We're going to go deep, and I'm going to incorporate astrology with it because I'm obsessed with astrology because of how much it's helped me. So I do these things and have felt my voice awaken. Let me tell you, doing Reiki sessions, opening up my chakras, seeing things without me realizing they were either gods or goddesses or some type of energy that just unlocked within me. I'm telling you, when you get a calling to something, do not ignore it. Even if you have to break tradition, even if you have to create a path that has been unexplored. Let me tell you, you heard me in the first episode. I've been in a development stage for a long time, and it's truly because I feel that I am now reconnecting with myself and who I was probably before this lifetime. I'm a scholar, okay? I do things with intention when it comes to providing love and knowledge and everything when it comes to that type of energy through my creativity or through my words. What I know is now what you know. And I feel that that is my gift. And it took for me to completely do a 360 in my life. Go against barriers, be rebellious, do some crazy things. But also, because of all of that energy, because of creating my boundaries, now that I know my value, now that I know what I bring to the table, thanks to the readers on YouTube when I can't give myself a reading, right? Because they decided to continue on their gift, they are able to help other people. And it is the same thing that I want to do. Because I am blessed with this gift, I want to bless you with my gift and help you realize that you have a gift inside of you. And there could be many gifts. It doesn't matter. I'm a creator through and through. It doesn't matter if I touch a camera. It doesn't matter if I'm in front of the camera. You know, technology, I'm able to utilize the fact that I'm adaptable in many different ways to create these specific platforms in order to convey a message. All that was channeling just now. Just now. Break barriers, break boundaries, break your own limitations, because a lot of the times that is what is indeed holding you back. Trust me on this. You are meant to create something magnanimous. You are meant to feel exuberant every time you wake up in the morning. I'm telling you, no more half-assed things, okay? Do what makes you feel the most authentically you. And that is just a slight introduction because I wanted to keep this at 25. That is just a slight introduction of me and my journey and how I got to this point. And I'm pretty sure we'll keep talking about it as time progresses through episodes. But that is episode 2 of Awake. And I'm glad I can give you guys a beautiful, slight introduction to who I am and what I've been doing. In next episode, we're going to get into more detail about what it is that we're here to do, but also how we're here to expand and how we could help ourselves on that journey towards whatever it is that we want to journey to. Sometimes you have no idea what it is that you want to do, and then you watch things like this and it gets you inspired. Even if you start this and get inspired, next thing you know, it's going to branch off into something else that's marvelous that you were meant to discover if you decided to do this. You never know. Yeah, so I got my joint in hand. I am ready to call this a wrap. I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode, and which I know you did. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Hit that notification bell so you know whenever I release not only this gorgeous, I keep saying reading because I'm so used to saying reading. Yes, reading, but also another episode here of Awake. I love you guys so much. Happy summer. Happy Cancer season. Love you. Mwah. Bye, bitch.